Okay, guys, we are back. We are going to be talking today about the OCPS Parent Portal. And inside of the OCPS Parent Portal, there are 20 plus apps, including Canvas Parent and Skyward Family Access and digital resource guides. You can access Canvas Parent at parents.classlink.com/OCPS. From your laptop or desktop, you will be able to visit parents.classlink.com/OCPS and enter your email address or mobile phone number. However, if you are receiving a mobile phone number not found or an error 504 account, then most typically what is causing that is that you have either a duplicate piece of information inside of Skyward. For example, you may have the same phone number as the first parent or the same email address, or if the account is not found, then it may be possible to identify that Skyward hasn't been enabled for you. But not to worry, if that happens to you, there are some easy fixes that we are going to discuss, okay? All right, so from a mobile access perspective, we will be able to access our ClassLink Parent Portal app using the ClassLink app. It's really important that when you are logging into the ClassLink app, that you're going to be able to select ClassLink Launchpad like you see on the screen here. That's very, very, very important. If you select Orange County Public Schools, it's going to take you to the other student version of Launchpad. And so it's very, very important that you're selecting ClassLink Launchpad, okay? From the OCPS Parent Portal dashboard, you're going to be able to identify from the top right corner your profile settings. It's because many times our parents tell us that when they've tried to log in and it's asking them to auto recover their account. And they go in and they put in the one-time password, and then from there it becomes very challenging for them to figure out what to do next. And so it's important, very, very important for you to know that if you do get that one-time password, that you're going to need to click on the little gray icon in the top right of the person, and that you're going to want to go there to be able to reset your password in the event that you need to reset that password, okay? Once you're inside of the OCPS Parent Portal, you're going to see that we have the ability for Skyward Family Access to be one of the first links that we click on. And when we click on that Skyward Family Access link, we're going to be able to have access to official grades, report cards, attendance, online forms, schedules, and graduation requirements. Okay? And graduation requirements. If you're trying to access Skyward Family Access from your mobile device, then you're going to need to use the ClassLink mobile app. Okay? You're not going to want to use the other app. Now, I do see that some of our families are requesting Spanish, so I'm going to go ahead and start our subtitles at the top for our Spanish-speaking families. Okay? So once again, if you are going to be accessing the Skyward Family Access app from your mobile phone, then you're going to want to utilize both the ClassLink mobile app that you see here on the right-hand side of the screen, and you're not going to want to use the Skyward app, okay? You're not going to want to use the Skyward app. And I see that there's a few folks here who are asking a question about if they can If they can access the presentation, absolutely you can access the presentation. We're going to post it in the event afterward, okay? So again, we don't want to use the Skyward app. We definitely want to be able to utilize the ClassLink app, All right. So once we have gone into our Skyward Family Access tab, you're going to get to the home screen, the dashboard. And on that home screen is all of the important information that you need, okay? All of the information that you need. And I do want to remind everybody that is inside of our comment section that this comment section is for questions that are specifically related to digital tools today. So on our Skyward homepage here, you're going to see on the left that we have access to online forms, calendar, gradebook, attendance, student information, schedule, discipline, test scores, student services, graduation requirements, and academic information. I see a question from Ulysses here about how do we access the OCPS parent portal. That's a great question. So again, you can access the OCPS parent portal from the laptop by visiting our parents.classlink.com/OCPS, or you can utilize the mobile app for ClassLink, okay? And so when you do that, you put in the email address or the mobile phone number that is on file for your school. Then once you get in, you'll be able to click right here on that Skyward icon. All right. Now, also important for you to know is when you go into the main screen in the center of the page for Skyward Family Access, you're going to see that there's an online form available for you to fill out, okay? And that online form that's available for you to fill out is going to be something that you want to do as a parent, okay? That's going to be really, really, really important. Those are every year and they are on the screen, okay? And so you want to make sure that you get in there and you fill those out. On the right-hand side of the screen, you're going to see the upcoming dates like for progress reports and report cards. Now there's also a Skyward official gradebook, and you're going to get to that by clicking on that gradebook tab on the left-hand corner of the screen, And when you get to that gradebook, you're going to want to notice that it gives you the option to toggle between your students, like at the number 1 that you see at the top, okay? And that's a great question. We often have parents ask us, I have a blended family myself, and many parents ask us, what about if there's 2 parents? Do we have to share a login? And the answer is no, you don't have to share a login. Each parent that is listed inside of Skyward has their own unique login. And remember that that is tied to a unique email address and phone number. At the top of your official gradebook, you're going to see it says missing assignments. Missing assignments is where a teacher has placed something inside of there that says the student is past the due date and that is a missing assignment. That's a really important thing for parents to pay attention for, okay? And that is something that you're going to want to check on a regular basis. Below there, you're going to see that the class grades are listed. And yes, we are recording, and this is going to be able to be viewed inside of our live section of Facebook after this event, as well as on YouTube beginning early next week. All right, so we're going to keep moving, and I will stop for questions in just a moment. I see a few exciting ones have popped into the chat box. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to post a quick question for you, and let's see if you remember the answer. While that's happening, I'm going to go ahead and go on back and check out some of our questions that have popped up. There are quite a few different things that have come up. One deals with blended families and parents in that area. And again, that anyone who is listed in the student information system can have a unique parent account. And those unique parent accounts are tied to a mobile phone number and an email address, okay? And an email address. Okay. I see lots of good interaction in the chat box. I'm excited that many of you have had a chance to get your questions answered, and we'll go ahead and we're going to keep answering questions throughout our live session. Now, the truth is that Skyward is currently our official gradebook for Orange County Public Schools. That's really important because oftentimes there are grades that are available in multiple platforms like Canvas, or even in some of our other platforms like Nearpod and other places. And so it is really, really important to remember that we have to check Skyward for the official grades in our gradebook. That is so important for us to remember as we go through this process as digital parents. Now, it's also important to remember that there's more than just grades inside of Skyward. There's also Skyward Attendance features where you can see if your students have been marked tardy or absent inside of Skyward. Now, do go ahead, and if you do see the poll pop up on your screen for Skyward as the official gradebook, just go ahead and answer true or false to see if you can remember where we are with that process. All right. So we've gone through and we've talked about the gradebook, we've talked about Skyward Attendance. Those are two really important features within our platform. Now, the next feature is one that is very often not utilized by parents, and it's so important for us to know that this is here. This feature is called Skyward Student Information. Skyward Student Information, and it's something we don't always look at a lot because we think to ourselves, oh, that's not so important because, you know, it's just student information, but it is really important. And the reason it is really important is because this is where our emergency contact information lives, as well as any health alerts. And it's also where, if you're a high school parent, you can see the graduation year for your child and any community service hours. That's really important because with community service hours, they are required for the Bright Futures Scholarship. And if we don't know how many community service hours our students have learned, then we are having some challenges, okay? That is very, very, very important. Now remember, the translations in Spanish are actually right above the top of the slide. You'll see them in white text. You may want to turn your phone sideways to be able to see them a little bit more clearly if you're not seeing them, but they are at the top of the screen. All right. The next section we're going to talk about is inside of the Skyward graduation requirements. This is very important for middle school and high school families. And it's important for middle school and high school families because it helps you to see how many credits are required in each area and what progress your child has made toward that requirement. So for example, you can see here at the top that the student, where box number 3 is required to have 4 English credits, but only has 1 completed. So it's listed as in progress. And those requirements are available for middle school and high school. Just really quickly, I do want to encourage any of you who have just joined, to go ahead and share our link and give our video a quick like so that other of your families can be aware that this live is happening, okay? All right. So we are going to just stop really quickly for a few questions because I see that there has been a lot of questions in the chat box. So I'm going to just quickly go back through and I'm going to see what is happening here. So it says, how do I get help signing into the mobile ClassLink app? That is a fantastic question, Andrew. There is a form that you can fill out to get help with the ClassLink app, and that form is available simply by going to the OCPS Parent Portal homepage, okay? And you're going to be able to click on the word help. Click on the word help. I see, Lori, that you're talking about the email that you need to use. That actually, if you use different emails for each student, that's going to create duplicate accounts. So you should be able to use the same email address for each of the parents for your students to be linked together in Skyward. If you're having trouble with that, you can email us at digitallearning@ocps.net. That's a great question. Jeanne, I see who registers the community volunteer hours for students. Yes, that is typically done by your school guidance counselor. I see Alina has grabbed that question. Thank you so much, Alina. And if you noticed that they are not available, then that may mean that you need to reach out to that guidance counselor and ask that question. So many great questions, and our team from Professional Learning is in the chat box answering questions fiendishly, and so I'm so excited that they're able to get all of those questions for you guys. All right, so there is another really important app that is on Canvas Parent, and so this is on the OCPS Parent Portal as well, and you're going to click right here on the Canvas OCPS app to be able to access Canvas Parent, okay? And when you access Canvas Parent, it's going to be a little bit different than Skyward. Skyward, I like to think of, is that really thick permanent record that we're used to having in our schools from when we were kids that follows us from place to place. It's a historical record. It's really not about what's happening present day to day in class. Canvas Parent is about what's happening present day to day to class. And this includes being able to view the online courses for your students, assignments, calendars, grades, alerts, and be able to inbox message your teachers. And that's really, really critical because a lot of times we don't know our teacher's email address or we don't know where to find the teacher's email address. And we can send our teachers information directly through Canvas. So how do we do that? Okay, so if we are on the web, again, we just go to the OCPS Parent Portal and we go to Canvas Parent. But if we are on our cell phone, which I know is where I spend most of my time, you're going to be able to use the Canvas Parent mobile app directly. Okay, and so inside of that Canvas mobile app, you'll have the same ability to see those courses, assignments, calendars, grades, and alerts. So again, if you're on the laptop, you're going to go to the OCPS Parent Portal and click on that icon. And then if you're going to the mobile app, you're going to download the Canvas Parent app and go in that direction. I see a few questions that have just popped up, and a couple of them are about elementary school Canvas and if my student doesn't have a course link there or what that might mean. Typically, that means the teacher doesn't have the course published. By and large, all of our teachers publish at least one Canvas course. Sometimes, though, they may not realize the course is not published. So if you don't see something for your student, you can go ahead and contact the school and they can publish that course for them, okay? Now with the Canvas parent app, you're going to be able to log in using those same credentials. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to search for Orange County Public Schools in the district. So you're going to search for Orange County Public Schools, and then it's going to take you right back to that same page for the OCPS parent portal. Do you see a theme? So you're going to need to still have those same login directions for the parent portal. So you have the same link available for both. I see a great question about charter schools that just popped up. So all of our charter schools do have access to Skyward. Some of our charter schools utilize Canvas, but some of them select a different learning management system. So you may want to check with your school leadership. Now, inside of the Canvas Parent app, once you're logged in, you're going to see that there are 3 big things that you need to be aware of. The first one is courses, okay? And courses is going to give you the name of the class. It's also going to show beneath it if there is a grade for that class available. Okay, so you're going to see all of the classes that your student is registered for. Okay. Now, with Canvas Parent, you're also going to see the calendar. And as my favorite feature, personally, my favorite feature is definitely about our Canvas Parent calendar. And I say that because on the Canvas Parent app there is a calendar, and that calendar is going to show you all of the assignments that your student has in their class. It's like a digital planner, and I have 4 girls, and oh my gosh, those 4 girls have so many different teachers. It's hard to keep everything straight, and so it's very difficult to be able to understand and know how to get everything done inside of their classes. So as a mom, I love being able to get on the Canvas Parent app for the calendar, and when I see a little dot underneath of the date, so kind of like you see here on our screen, you see this little dot, that tells me that there's something on that date that's due. And so when I click on that, it's going to tell me what it is. And so in this case, it's a Bill of Rights quiz. I see when it's due, and I see how many points it's worth. You'll notice that there's a little arrow to the right, and if I click on that arrow, now it's going to pop up with all of the information about the assignment, okay, including a description or anything else the teacher was able to get in. Now, here's what I love about this. This number 4 right here, guys, this is life-changing. This lets you click that button and toggle it on, and it sets a reminder that automatically pops up on your phone as a parent to remind you to remind your kids when their work is due. How life-changing is that? No more trying to write down everyone's assignments and get everything in on time. Now, the other thing to remember about this is that sometimes parents put information in here, teachers put information in here, even if it's a paper assignment. So it might say worksheet due, okay? And so if it says worksheet due, it doesn't mean that it has to be turned in online necessarily. It just means that it is on the calendar and available for our parents to be able to do, okay? I see a few more questions. Just as a brief reminder, let's keep our comments focused to the topic at hand for today, please. All right. Now, another thing I love about the Canvas Parent app, again, life-changing, especially if you have more than one child, is you have the ability to set up alerts, okay? And these alerts can be different for each child. I have 4 girls, each of them need really different things. And so I can go over here, and in this example for Emily, I can set an alert when a student scores below a certain score. And so if I'm scoring below that score, right, then I might want to be able to follow up with the student or follow up with the teacher. I can also identify if I want the course grade to be above a certain amount and be alerted. Maybe your student's been working really hard on a certain task and they just would love to be rewarded, and you want to make sure you don't miss catching them being good, right, or being great. So we can go ahead and set that alert for above a certain percentage. You can also set an alert for an assignment that is missing, and anytime your student misses a due date, they can turn it in there. And then you can decide how often you want those assignments. They can be immediate, they can be daily, or they can be weekly. So here you can see over to the right that this is what the alerts look like inside the app. This parent has received some alerts for when Emily scored above a 91, scored below a 70, and when they missed certain assignments. Super, super helpful. All right, so I want you in the chat box to be able to share with me what your favorite feature was inside of Canvas. What was your favorite feature inside of Canvas? What's your favorite feature inside of Canvas? Depending on where you are and the speed of your connection, you may also see a poll pop up on the screen. But definitely inside of the chat box, we'd love for you to share what your favorite feature inside of Canvas was. So remember, that could be our calendar, our alerts, our course information. What's your favorite feature inside of Canvas? Oh, I love it. Calendar, alerts. Thank you so much for sharing. I really appreciate you participating, Kimberly. Mary Jane, I love it. The alerts for homework. I know, so helpful. Alerts! Alerts! I know, I feel like I need like hashtag alerts in my life all the time. Notifications for low grades definitely has its place, right? Loving the alerts, loving it. All right, guys, great job. All right, so now let's talk about where to get help, okay? Because I know that we are, the kind of people as parents where it's like we get in, we don't have a lot of time, and we don't have time to worry about, an error message every time we're trying to log in. So if you are experiencing challenges with the OCPS parent portal, then you can click on the help button right on the login screen. And what that's going to do is that's going to take you to the help form. Now, right now, that help form is a PDF document that you can fill out and email back to your school, and they can assist you with any of the questions that you're having or anything like that. But if in the next week or so we're transitioning to a fully automated form where when you click on this button, it will take you to an online form that can be automatically routed to your school to be able to get assistance, okay? But again, that help button is right there at the top, okay? All right, so I'm going to stop and answer a few questions here. I see that there's Crystal, that makes me laugh. My daughter doesn't love it when I'm in the know either, but I'll tell you what, I love it because I don't have to do a whole bunch of extra work and I can stay on top of things, all right? So a few things happening here in the chat. One is, if something's not working, who do I contact at the school? Okay, 99% of the time you can contact the assistant principal or the registrar, and if you are getting an error message or you're unable to log in, you will be able to get that resolved through them. But remember, you want to fill out that OCPS Parent Portal's concern form by clicking on the help button and be able to fill that out, okay? I think that's really, really important. Now, the other thing that I saw, which was a really good question that I just want to raise to the top, was Patty asked, what's the difference between course announcements and institution announcements? That is a great question. Now, course announcements, okay? Course announcements are announcements that a teacher has posted that is specific to one class. An institution announcement is something that we've posted from the district office that is available to be seen by every student at a school or a grade level or the whole district. So really, really, really important, okay? Carrie, if your child is going to OCPS, please reach out to your school's principal. Every teacher is available to have Canvas, and every teacher has Canvas courses. So there may just be the need to ask that teacher to, you know, repost that link or share that information with you. Okay? All right. Gonna check one more time to see if there's any other really important questions. I see one here about Canvas working on your laptop but not on the app. If you are in the app for Canvas, please remember that you need to search for OCPS, and then it's going to bring you to a screen with 4 tiles, and you'll want to click on the one that says parent login and then log in from there. If it's giving you trouble, you may want to uninstall and reinstall that app. All right, so we've talked all about the OCPS Parent Portal, okay? We talked all about the OCPS Parent Portal, and we know that that's your one-stop shop for parents. You're gonna be able to get into Skyward, you're gonna be able to get into Canvas, you're gonna be able to find all sorts of resources on there, but where do your students go? Okay, well, here is the best and worst part. Your students also go to a place that looks just like the OCPS Parent Portal, but it's called Launchpad, okay? And when they go to their Launchpad, they go to launch.ocps.net, and they can get there from their computer, they can get there from their iPad, they can get there from a personal phone, they can get there from anywhere. And when they log in, it looks a lot like yours, okay? And so instead of that dark blue background you see, they see this background. It's white. And they have many, many different tiles that you do not have, okay? And so their Launchpad application, okay, includes their textbooks, it includes Canvas for them, it includes the student version of Skyward, it includes their other sorts of resources like Nearpod and their ebooks and all of those sorts of things, okay? Now, there is one very, very, very important thing to remember about this. You cannot log into the Student Launchpad. That's because parents don't have licenses to all of the textbooks and things in the district. Think about it like when you go to Barnes & Noble and you buy a book for your child. When you buy the book, they don't give you a free copy for the parent, they have just one copy for the student. And so that's why there's different things that are on the parent portal than there are on Launchpad. But You can always ask your child to log into their Launchpad and be able to see what is there. If you look at the bottom of the screen, you're going to notice that there is a backpack icon. This backpack icon is very, very important because the backpack icon is where you can get all of your students' textbooks. All of your students' textbooks, right? Now, I want you to think for a minute, okay? And I'd like you to go ahead and I'd like you to consider what I just said, and I want you to think about if parents can log in to the Student Launchpad, okay? Can parents log into the Student Launchpad? This is the most common question we get, and so I want to make sure that you are thinking about and that you know the answer to this question. Can parents log in to the Student Launchpad? Okay, Danielle says yes. Jacqueline says no. Maria says yes. Oh boy, this is a tricky one, right? So can parents log into the Student Launchpad? Well, here's the thing, okay? Parents cannot log into the Student Launchpad, okay, with their own user ID, which means that the login you use for the OCPS parent portal won't work on the Student Launchpad. But you can always, like I see that Mary Jane had said, you can absolutely ask your students to log in and then be able to see what is there, okay? Oh, Cindy, that I know. Canvas last year did have text message notifications and they got rid of them, and I was so sad about that as well. They said that they did not feel that they were being utilized enough, and so I absolutely think that they would benefit from hearing from all of us about the fact that we want those back. All right. So now we are nearing the end of our time together, and so I just want to share with you how you can find future parent opportunities, okay? The first place you can find future parent opportunities is by visiting your child's website for their school, and you can look at the calendar that is right on the front page, and there's where you're going to be able to see all of the upcoming events for Orange County Public Schools parents. And yes, kindergarten students do get Launchpad accounts. And so you can see that our very next one is on November 13th, which is our OCPS Parent Academy. And then we have one on November 17th that is all about navigating the Orange County Public Schools website. Now, we also have a OCPS Family Digital Learning Support Facebook group, and you can absolutely search Facebook for that group and request to join, okay? And I'll see if one of our fabulous PDL friends can put a link in the chat to that Facebook group. When you request to join the OCPS Family Digital Learning Support Facebook group, it is going to ask you two questions. One question is if your students are in school with OCPS, and you can just say yes. Another question is the school name that your students attend. Once you answer those two questions, okay, you'll be let into the group and you can ask me or any of my colleagues questions live day or night on things like Launchpad, apps, Canvas, Google Workspace, student devices, internet connectivity. We are here for you. The other thing is you should be getting parent newsletters. And if you are not getting these newsletters, that is a sign that you might be out of the loop. You might not have an updated email address with OCPS. And so we send these out to all parents every Saturday morning. Every Saturday morning. And on one Saturday, we send out generic what's news information. And on the other Saturday, we send out parent tech tips. And those again are going to the email address that is on file in Canvas. And you'll see that there's a section at the bottom of each of those newsletters that shares what upcoming workshops there are and how you can register. If you're not getting those, that means Connect Orange doesn't have all of your information. And the reason for that is that Connect Orange has multiple different options available for communication, okay? It has multiple different options for communication. And so just going back really quickly to our newsletters, how many of you, and you can just put a yes or a no in the chat box, how many of you are receiving those parent newsletters to your email address? If you've seen our recent parent tech tips, you would know that there's a lot of great information available out there to support you at home. We don't want you to suffer in silence. We want to support you through everything you're experiencing. Now, if you're not getting those emails and you don't want to provide the district with an email address, there's another option. So tell me what you think. Do you think that Connect Orange can send you text messages? Please mark the poll true or false. Connect Orange can send you text messages. What do you think? Well, the answer is true. Connect Orange can send parents voicemails, emails, and text messages as long as they have a valid mobile phone number and email address on file. And if you're not getting text messages, we send one great tech tip video out every week just to parent text messages. So guess what? You can join today. All you have to do is opt in by texting yes to 68453, to 68453. And the reason that that is so helpful and important is because you're going to be able to get those text messages from your school about student absences, or about upcoming due dates and information, or about tech tips. In fact, a recent Columbia University study shared that when you do get those text messages, it helps parents support their students in attending class more often and being more successful. So we want all of our parents to be able to opt in to those Connect Orange text messages. And once again, just to opt in, all you have to do is text yes to 68453. Now, once again, we do have two events coming up in November that we are here to support you for with parents, okay? The first one is on November 13th, and that is our Parent Academy. And our theme is Together Toward Tomorrow, a Plan for Success. And it's going to be virtual. Registration is open, and it's going to be from 9 to 11:30 in the morning. Now, we also have a November 17th training that is going to be bilingual, Spanish and English presented simultaneously, that is going to be about navigating the OCPS website and finding resources. I recommend that you join that session as it will cover different information than today's session, such as how to navigate the digital learning website and find resources. All right, so we're going to go ahead and end today by having you answer one question. And that question is going to be, what is one new thing that you learned from this session? What is one new thing that you learned from this session? Okay. And you should see a card that's going to pop up in the top of the screen, and it'll pop up in just a moment. So be thinking about what that one new thing you learned was. It could be that you were learning about the new alerts in Canvas that you were unaware of, or how to get help with the OCPS Parent Portal. Oh, I see some responses coming in. Millie, she learned about alerts and didn't know about that. That's wonderful. I see that Heba didn't know about Launchpad because she's a kindergarten parent and she's excited to jump in. I see that some people didn't know what Canvas was. This is wonderful. So I'm hoping that you found this session really beneficial and that you understood a little bit more than you did before you joined us about how to use some of the really critical platforms for our families. So go ahead and keep those responses coming. I love it. I see Leanna says how to use Skyward for parents. I see Raphael said the alert feature, and Jamie's saying alerts, but she's still unable to log into the Canvas app. Jamie, if you wouldn't mind sending us a direct message or putting in the chat box your email address, I'll follow up with you afterward. I see just so many great things that people have taken away. So that is wonderful. That is wonderful. All right. Now I'm going to give you just one last opportunity, since we are at the end of our time together, to answer any questions or to bring up anything that you feel that we have not addressed yet. I know Alina has been answering questions furiously in the chat here, so I'm so thrilled to see that. Yes, you can download the apps. They are free. The ClassLink Launchpad app and the Canvas Parent app are free in the App Store. Free in the App Store. Absolutely, Adrienne. Give us your email address and we are happy to follow up with you. Before we leave you today, I do just want to put up my contact information for you. I did stop my video to be able to preserve some of our bandwidth, but my name is Marielle Milano. I'm the Director for Digital Learning Outreach, and my goal is to support parents in becoming co-pilots in their learning for students. And you can reach me at marielle.milano@ocps.net. You can also call me directly at 407-317-3200, extension 200-2066. You're encouraged to follow me on Twitter at Milano OCPS. And you can also visit our digital learning website at digital.ocps.net. At digital.ocps.net. Once again, thank you so much for joining us today. We are going to stop our live in just a moment, okay? Just a moment. And when we stop it, it will go ahead and it will save this whole presentation, and it will be available on our OCPS Facebook page in just a little while later today. It will also be available on our YouTube channel early next week. I'm so grateful to have been able to spend some time with each of you today, and I hope that today's information helped you help your students. I hope that it helped you feel confident in what you're doing with your students. And if there are any additional topics you would like for us to share in our next Facebook Live session, please feel free to put it in the chat box. A Facebook Live is a relatively new format for us, and if you liked the Facebook Live format, please share that information with us in the chat box, and also share it with us in that survey. That helps us to know if this is the right platform for our parents. You can keep posting questions inside of the chat even after our live ends, and if we haven't gotten to your question, one of our team members will respond to the chats in the chat box. So thank you so much, and have a fabulous rest of your day.